Good morning, students. Om Namah Shivaya. Standard 9 Science, first chapter, Matter in our surrounding. In last lecture, you already studied about a solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state. Now the question arises in your mind, maybe, that is, can matter change its state? Matter अपना state change कर सकता है या नहीं? That means matter can change its state from solid to liquid or liquid to gaseous, or from gaseous to liquid or liquid to solid in its reverse form. We all know from our observation, a single example in our observation that you experience in your house regularly, that you are having water in pot. If you take some water in some pan or a little bit glass and put it in refrigerator in freezer, so that water from liquid form converts to its solid form, that is ice. And if the same water you take from the pot and heat it on the gas, so it converts to vapor form, that is on vaporized. That is the process by evaporization. Solid as ice, liquid as familiar water, and gas as water vapor. What happens inside the matter during this change of state? Actually, what is the process being done so that the matter of water, that is from solid to liquid or liquid to gaseous or gaseous to liquid or liquid to solid, that occurs or the changes happens? What happens to the particles of matter during the change of state? What is the process being done on the particles of matter? How does this change of state take place? How does it done? We need answer to these questions, isn't it? In every one of your mind, the question arises. So that today we'll discuss the process, what happens, and the thing. Point is effect of change of temperature. For that, one activity is given. Take about 150 gram of ice in a beaker and suspend a laboratory thermometer so that its bulb is in contact with the ice, as seen in figure. In this figure, you can see that ice is taken in the beaker, thermometer is being stuck in it with the iron stand. A glass stirrer is given. Through help of it, you can continuously stir the ice inside and heat it with the burner. Now start heating the beaker on the low flame. Note the temperature when the ice start melting. Through this Bunsen burner, whenever you are giving starting heat, then at end continuously continuously stir the ice through glass rod. Single eye your must be on thermometer bulb. The temperature arises as you pass the heat. Note the temperature when all the ice has converted into water. Little bit by process, second to second, ice is converted into water. One time come that complete ice will convert it into water. You need to record that observation or record that temperature on the thermometer. Now put a glass rod in a beaker and heat while stirring till the water start boiling. Put the glass rod in the beaker, heat continue. In first chance, ice is converted into water. Now heat, you do not need to stop the heat. Heat continues and the water remaining start to boil. Now put a glass rod in the beaker and heat while stirring till the water start boiling. Keep a careful eye on the thermometer reading till most of the water has vaporized. Maximum water vaporize. Once water start vaporizing, and then vaporizing process will continue. Record your observation for the conversion of water in the liquid state to the gaseous state. And in single step, you have already seen that ice start melting and complete to convert in liquid form. Another stage will come that water start boiling and continuously convert to its gaseous form. On increasing the temperature, solid, the kinetic energy of the particles increases due to the increase in kinetic energy. As we already seen in last lecture, that particles in solid, liquid and gaseous have different spaces in that is called interspace between them. So due to kinetic energy, whenever we are passing heat through it, that means we are supplying kinetic energy to the state. At that time, kinetic energy of the particle increases, and due to the increase in kinetic energy, the particles start vibrating with greater speed. The energy supplied by heat overcome the forces of attraction between the particles. As the energy supply increases, the intermolecular force, that means a force that bind two particles with each other, that start decreasing, overcome. The particles leave their fixed position and start moving more freely. Particles completely left their position from original and start moving freely. A stage is reached when the solid melt and is converted into liquid. Single stage will come at a definite temperature, that solid start melting and convert into liquid. The temperature at which a solid melt to become a liquid at the atmospheric pressure is called melting point. This is the definition of melting point. If you have been asked that right definition of melting point, you have to write the temperature at which solid melt to become a liquid at the atmospheric pressure. Why the word atmospheric pressure is using, that you will understand in next topic, that atmospheric pressure also matter in the change of matter state. The melting point of a solid is an indication of the strength of the force of attraction between its particle. Higher the melting point of any solid substance, that means that that solid is more stable, and lower the melting point of the solid substance, that means the stability of its solid state is very poor. The melting point of ice is 273.16 Kelvin. The process of melting, that is change of a solid state into liquid state, is also known as fusion. Melting point of ice is 273.16 Kelvin. Okay, you all have a question in mind that why it is taken as Kelvin always to measure temperature, because Kelvin is an SI unit of temperature which is accepted universally. When a solid melts, its temperature remains the same. At the time when ice start melting, you can see that the temperature in the thermometer will become stable up till the complete solid or complete ice convert into water. After then, when water start boiling, the temperature will change. So when solid melt, its temperature remain the same. So where does the heat energy go? Our heat supply is continuous. So all of you have question in your mind that heat supply is continuous and temperature though is not increasing. So where this energy go? You must have observed during the experiment of melting that the temperature of the system does not change after melting point is reached. Once melting point is reached, after that the system does not change its temperature. Till all the ice melts, this happen even though we continue to heat the beaker. Though we are continue supply of heat to the beaker, that is we continue to supply heat, that means we are supplying heat continuously. The heat gets used up in changing state of by overcoming the forces of attraction between the particles. We have seen that solids are having much more intermolecular force between the particles, and when we supply the heat, the energy is used in becoming that molecules weaker. As this heat energy is absorbed by ice without showing any rise in the temperature, rise will not seen in the thermometer, so it is considered that it gets hidden into the contents of the beaker. Whatever the content, ice or any other else, that is energy is hidden inside that, and it is known as latent heat. That is called latent heat. The word latent means hidden. The amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is known as the latent heat of fusion. Another definition, what is latent heat of fusion? So 1 kg solid, and at atmospheric temperature turn it into liquid form, the energy or heat energy you required for it, that is called the latent heat of fusion for the particular matter. So particles in water at 0 degree centigrade, that is 273 Kelvin. Okay, you remember that always degree centigrade and Kelvin makes a difference of 273. Have more energy as compared to particle in ice as the same temperature. The next thing, when we supply heat energy to water, in another experiment, as we already understand that after converting solid into water, we supply heat continuously and water converts into vapor. The same process for temperature occurs. At a certain temperature, a point is reached when the particle have enough energy to break free from the forces of attraction of each other. The same process in liquid. Liquid particles of state of matter of liquid get converted into gaseous form. That means by supplying heat energy, it breaks little bit force of attraction and completely apart from each other, which is in the gaseous form. At this temperature, the liquid start changing into gas. The temperature, another definition, what is the latent heat of fusion. So the temperature at which a liquid start boiling at the atmospheric pressure, known as its boiling point. Boiling is a bulk phenomenon. That means whenever the state of matter is taken in bulk, that is in much more quantity, then only the boiling point can be measured or the boiling process is done. Particles from the bulk of the liquid gain energy, enough energy to change into vapor state. This particle of liquid state gain energy and changes into vapor state. For water, the temperature, as we already seen in our thermometer, that at the temperature of 100 degree, water starts boiling. And 273 is its Kelvin measurement. So, boiling point of water, that in Kelvin scale is 273 plus 100, that is 373 Kelvin. Can you define the latent heat of vaporization? In the definition of latent heat of vaporization, the change is only the amount of heat energy that required to change 1 kg of liquid into gaseous at atmospheric pressure at its boiling point is known as the latent heat of evaporation or vaporization. Do it in the same way as we have defined that the latent heat of fusion. Yes, particles in steam, that is water vapor at 373 Kelvin, that is 100 degrees centigrade, have more energy than water at the same temperature. Because we supply the heat continuously, and that is not up to water, but it is up to water vapor. Due to this explanation, you will have a question in the exam that water vapor hurts more to our skin as compared to hot water. This is because particles in steam have absorbed extra energy in the form of latent heat of evaporization. So we infer that the state of matter can be changed into another state by changing the temperature. This much you have to understand or you have to prepare in this lecture. The next we will study continuously in next lecture, and you will have some questions from homework. I will send you the photograph. Thank you.